Welcome to What's the Story? Today we're visiting 7-time Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, producer Lauren Christy. She has written hits for many top artists in pop and rock music. Let's dive into her story.
Okay, so let's go to the mobile studio, Holly. I'm so excited.
Welcome to What's the Story? We're here today with Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter producer Lauren Christy, who has written hits for artists like Dua Lipa, Avril Lavigne, Chris Brown, BB Rexa, Kelly Clarkson, and so on. So welcome. Happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Christine.
Tell us your story. How did you get into this? How did you know this was your calling?
So I started out when I was 11, really wanting to be a ballet dancer. I went to a school called Bush Davies, which was like the optional school to the Royal Ballet School. They were the two schools in England. And like, it's kind of funny because Avril and The Matrix and I wrote Skater Boy. And so I pulled from my own life in that. Like, he was a punk, she did ballet. And my mom and dad didn't want me to like marry a musician who they thought as punks. So anyway, cut to, I was at ballet school when I was 11. And on my first day at boarding school, I met a girl called Michelle Hatch, who I'm still friends with today. Her dad is Tony Hatch. He's a famous songwriter. He wrote Downtown, Where All the Lights Are Bright. I was like, wow, that sounds like an amazing job. He's a songwriter. And there was a piano in every single room at our school, in all the dance studios. So I spent way more time on the piano than I should have been practicing ballet, writing songs. And pretty soon I was really writing songs, and my brother Stephen had a best friend called George McFarlane. He had a recording studio. By 14, he was doing demos for me, and the school loved them, and they would use the songs in the school shows. So I had like this real taste of what it was like to sort of be a success as a songwriter on a very small level. And by 19, I got signed by Alan Jacobs to EMI Publishing, and then I got signed by John Carter, who found Tina Turner and did her whole comeback with What's Love Got to Do With It. He signed me to Atlantic Records in America. We made a record in England. No sooner had I been like making the album, they let go of most of the people in the company, and they let go of John too, John Carter, God rest his soul. And anyway, he actually was really sweet, and he went to his friend Tom Vickers and said, you got to go get Lauren off the label and bring her to your label, Mercury Records. So Tom went to his friend Ed Eckstein, who was the president, and they kind of brought me off Atlantic Records and signed me to Mercury, and then brought me out to Los Angeles when I was 23. That's how I got here.
Yeah.
And I've been here ever since.
So running into all these great people that have catapulted your career and having some luck also, because you need some luck.
Yes.
What do you think were the darker sides of the business or the obstacles that you faced coming up in this industry?
I mean, like, one of the things I wish I'd known like back then is you got to have faith. And I became a Christian in 2009. Before then, it was really tough for me because I just thought it was all on me. Like, how am I going to make it? And that can be really depressing. I suffered with quite a lot of depression. And so some of the disappointing things and the challenges are when people at labels get let go and you've kind of made a friendship with them and based everything on them, and that's tough. Other thing is, like, there's a couple of songs in particular I just think were #1 hits that never happened because of people moving, shuffling, and you know, not being, stars not aligning. And so that's frustrating, you know. A great quote from Tom Vickers is, look after music and music looks after you. So I think you have to get up every day and work at your craft. I think you should join SONA, Songwriters of North America, which is the closest thing songwriters have to a union. And there's just tons of tips of how to make it in the business. I think that you should come in as a songwriter / producer or a songwriter / artist. Don't just be a songwriter anymore, because there isn't a business for you there, which is really sad to me, but it's just not just the way the world is now.
So you have a few artists signed to you and some projects that you're excited about. Can you tell us about that?
I do. I'm very excited about my daughters. They have a band called Christy, and it's my daughter Sophie Sky and Georgia Christy. So that's their names put together, Christy, the band. And they're really great. It's been maybe like 2.5 years incubation of just really working on getting good at writing songs and performing. And this year they've been doing a gig every 2 weeks, playing in some shitty bars, playing in some nice places, having people ignore them, having people like sit in silence listening to them because they were transfixed. They've done everything. And so I'm just really proud of them, and I love the songs they're doing. Sometimes I write with them. Often I'm just a sounding board, but they've got it. And they've got some of the best voices that I've heard in a long time.
She knows how to twist a knife, she knows how to start a fight, she knows how to fuck you right. She's the kind of girl you like. Why you calling me tonight? I'm not like Alice. She gets up inside your head, always ends up in the bed. Fingertips are full of lead, had enough, you're almost dead. Now you're calling me instead. I'm not like Alice.
I've been working with Jules Walcott. I signed her to my company, and we have a song called Bad Boy, which is just about to come out. Hey, this is Jules.
Hello.
This is Blake.
Hi.
This is Tony.
Hi.
I met Jules because she's literally a TikTok star. She has like 1.9 million followers, 2 million about to happen.
We're almost there.
Yeah, we met in the summer, and I loved her songwriting and her whole stage presence. And she ends up signing to my production company, and we've been making a record and having a lot of fun.
I think I'm falling for a bad boy, and I lost my mind. I know I shouldn't call him, but this good girl resigned. He's got a dark, cold heart, and he's gonna break mine. But I'd rather go blind, 'cause it's a sign of the times.
And I'm very excited about Rossi, who I signed with Heidi Rojas. Rossi's 100% Puerto Rican, raised in Florida. She's beautiful. I think she's like the young Jennifer Lopez, the new Jennifer Lopez. Writes great songs, can dance, just sharp, really amazing.
And what about people who are not signed to you? What inspires you there?
I mean, I'm at a stage in my career where I just work on things that really move me. Recently, I just worked with a guy called Teddy Swims. I don't know if you've heard him, but I was following him on Instagram just because I was like, this guy's voice. And then Donna, my publisher, called me and she said, do you want to work with Teddy Swims? I'm like, yep, I'm in. And we wrote an amazing song together. I love him. I just did 4 songs with the Pentatonics. Love them. Wow, so inspired by their vocals. So this is like very beginning of a song that we're writing called Songwriter, and it's about how you shouldn't fuck with a songwriter. Okay, James, let's have a go.
Okay.
Ready?
2, 3.
I'll sing about the size of it. I'll sing about your style and lack of it. My verse is like a knife. I'll slice you up and dice you right. Sing about your lies and shit, how you did it just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it. And my chorus, it will bury you. Yeah, my chorus, it will bury you. You're so dumb, should've been a little brighter. Don't go fucking with a songwriter. I'll sing about you every day. Pick up my pen, you'll play. Don't go fucking with a songwriter.
How many sessions do you think people need to do when they start? Or
my
is it
God.
just case by case?
Well, I mean, I think like if you're young and this is what you want to do and you don't have kids, I think you should be doing it every day. Like not Sundays, but like 5-6 days a week. would be really great, and to just keep going. Sometimes it's like, you're writing and producing. Some days you're just finishing the production on, but you should be chipping away at music every day. And then at a certain point, I was like, okay, I need to, when you have kids, you want to see your kids. And my husband always says, who you are, what you do is not who you are. And I think that's really important to kind of remember that, to sort of take off that hat of like songwriter, producer, and now I'm a mum. So at a certain point, about 10 years ago, I cut back working to 3 or 4 days a week. And funnily enough, I think I get more done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't get burnt out. I just think that you have to be fully present in whatever you're doing. So if you're at the studio, you're 100% committed in that moment. You're not like thinking about what's going on at home. And when you're with your family, you're 100% in with them, and this is something I did with my kids when they were younger. If you're sick, I don't care who I'm with. If I'm with Britney Spears or Shakira, I'm going to cancel it and come home and just be with you. My kids always knew that they came first over music, because a hit record doesn't love you back, not like your children will.
What would you like to see for the future of music and the future of songwriters and creators, the next generation?
Well, I think that artists will be just fine, and I think that producers will be just fine. I'm concerned about the profession of songwriting, and like full circle back to boarding school and me kind of like praying to be a songwriter when I was 14 years old. It's kind of sad to me that may not be a profession that you can actually make a living at, So as I say, you got to be a producer. You've got to be an artist if you're coming into this business now. And I think maybe it'd be great if if we could all get our heads together and figure out a way to kind of look out for songwriters, people who are just songwriters. Okay, the biggest breakthrough was Avril Lavigne. I'd had a lot of nice things happen in my solo career, and then Graham Edwards and Scott Spock and I started The Matrix in 1999, and for a couple of years we were doing really well, just producing lots of different records. Ronan Keating from Boyzone, Christina Aguilera on her Christmas record, not Christian record, Christmas record. And we had some really good stuff, but at a certain point we were like, we need to have a big hit record. And so our manager, God rest his soul, Sandy Roberton, fantastic manager, he brought in this girl, Avril Lavigne. Josh Sarabin was her A&R, L.A. Reid. She came, we did 2 songs, one of them being Complicated. And, sometimes just things just go right. Thanks to Josh and L.A. Reid, it just went right. And they sent her back for the whole summer to work with us. We wrote Skater Boy, I'm With You, Anything But Ordinary. We did about 8 songs and had so much fun with Avril. It's a damn cold night, trying to figure out this life. Won't you take me by the hand, take me somewhere new? Don't know who you are, but I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Tell me about where you draw inspiration for your songwriting.
Okay, I'm very spiritual, so I definitely pull from God, and I used to have books and books of lyric ideas that I would take to sessions, but then I just couldn't keep up with it because I was doing so many sessions. So I started just saying a prayer before I went in, and quite often that worked out really well. One time in particular was Tonight I'm Loving You. I was going to work with this guy, DJ Frankie, and Jacob Luttrell. I'd never met them before. I said a little prayer outside because I didn't have any ideas, and went in, and they had a beat, and I was like, look, I've got this melody, and I said, you just need to say something before it, but the setup is I've never met anyone, or I've never felt this way until I met you. And that melody ran the whole way through the song. And Jacob the Trail was like, how about Tonight I'm Fucking You? I was like, no, not that. But that's how the record ended up being. Tonight I'm effing you. And that melody ran the whole way through the song. And of course, to radio, it was Tonight I'm Loving You. But it was #1 hit all around the world. And that was just one of those things where I felt like God gave me that melody. 10 years later, to have another #1 with Enrique's Tonight I'm Loving You. And then like another couple of years later, #1 with G-Eazy's Me, Myself and I with BB.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't take that for granted, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm really proud of my daughters. It's just crazy to watch them perform and hear their songs they're writing.
Yeah.
It just makes me like kind of swell up with pride.
Comes full circle.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How many of those artists do you still collaborate with? BB and Avril and
I still
Dua.
work with Avril. I still
Yeah.
work with BB. Korn, I work with all the time. In fact, like just did 4 songs on their new album, and I'm working on Jonathan Davis's solo record that he's working on right now.
Sweet.
It's really nice. I like to stay in contact with everybody, and
Yeah.
you know, it sort of never goes away once you've had the magic with someone.